Peace to everybody, back with another video. This is why Americans must stop acting like sheep and tell the government to take a hike. So for all you sheeps that are still sleeping, that you're still listening to your government, what they tell you, that you could tell them to take a hike. Yes, you can. And this is from the Washington Times. So this is for you sheeps that are still asleep and don't know when to tell the government to take a hike. Thomas Jefferson, the fulcrum between the people and the government they have elected was fear. He argued succinctly that the government would only respect liberty if it feared losing power. Today, the relationship between people and government is power. Does the government have the power to tell us how to make personal choices, or do we have the power to tell the government to take a hike? I vote for take a hike. And you should do the same too, because they do not have the right to tell you what to do. They're out of order, they're out of line, and they're disobeying you. So, so you do have a right to tell them to take a hike. I don't want to hear, oh, well, the government's telling me that. No, shut up about it. Tell the government to take a hike. That's what you can do. You're allowed to do that. Stated differently, does the government work for us or do we work for the government? They be working for us. We don't work for them. The patriots don't work for them. They work for us. So you're allowed to make your own rules. You're allowed to create your own laws. The government is nobody. They undermine you every single day of the week, and they are telling you, well, you should do this, you should do that. No, stop it. Jefferson's answers to that question in 1801, the year he became president, was that the government worked for us. Today, unfortunately, this same question has two answers, a functional one and a formal one. One would stumble answering this question if one looked only at how some state governors are treating the people for whom they claim to be working. One needs to look as well at the nature of government in a free society. So this is a free society. They cannot say, well, you got to go do this and you got to go do that. No, they cannot tell you that, because then they're going against the 14th Amendment that you have a right to have, and they don't have a right. 6 months ago, no one could have imagined where we are in America today. Then, if anyone has suggested that the governors of all 50 states, in varying degrees of severity, would be using police to interfere with personal choices that we and our forebears have all made without giving a single second thought to the perfect sense of the government, no one would have believed it. Yeah, so the police, they've been interfering with our lives, with everybody's lives too much too, with personal choices, all right, and choices that we and our forebears have all made without giving a second thought to the preference of the government. Of course, 6 months ago, no one could have imagined where we are in America today. So all you little sheeps that are still allowing your governors to tell you what to do, this and that, knock it off. Tell them what to do, because you're allowed to. And if you have to take them to court for mistreating you, you could do that. They cannot stop you from suing them ever. Think for a moment of how you would have reacted to any C-19 idea that the police in America, using not the force of opinion but the force of arms, would prevent you from going out of your home, operating your businesses, jogging in a park, patronizing a restaurant or clothing store, buying a garden hose, going to mass or church or temple or mosque, or even joining a small public gathering of folks who want to protest their prohibitions. Yes, so imagine all that, but of course I've seen videos that the police are manhandling people. I mean, as soon as they step out the house, boom, there they are. They're manhandling you immediately. I seen a video yesterday that a police officer was arresting a woman with her child, and that was so sad because she was not wearing a mask. So what? It's her body, it's her choice. So what? You have a right to make your own choices. They cannot tell you what to do. And for them to stop you from operating and for them to stop you from going out of your home, operating your business, jogging in a park, patronizing a restaurant or clothing store, buying a garden hose, going to mass or church or temple or mosque, or even joining a small public gathering of folks who want to protest these prohibitions. You're allowed to go to church. You're allowed to go buy the things that you need. These people that are telling you, well, if you go out, we're going to shoot you. No, no, no. Stop being scared of them. All right? Take a stand against them. Tell them what to do. Tell them to get out of your face. Tell the police to get away from you. You're allowed to go jogging in the park. You're allowed to go to a restaurant. You're allowed to go to a clothing store, buying a garden hose, going to mass or church, which they had no right closing the churches because that's illegal too. It's essential. Churches are essential. Or temple or mosque, or even joining a small public gathering of folks. You're allowed to join gatherings. The police cannot say, well, you gotta have six. No, stop it. Stop allowing these police officers to tell you what you can and cannot do, because you can get up in their face and tell them, look, you don't tell me what to do. You could tell them that. Where did these prohibitions come from? They have come from the ever-changing edicts of governors and mayors who rely on the ever-changing evaluations of medical data from an ever-changing cast of significant experts. They are the pronouncements of politicians who have forgotten that they are elected to enforce laws, not to write them, and to be the servants of the people, not their masters. Boom! There you go. They are prohibited to write the laws. They are not allowed to enforce laws. They are not allowed to write them, and they are not to be the servants of the people, not their masters. So we are the masters of the government. We are their masters. We could tell them what to do. If we tell them, oh, we need this or we need that, they got to do as we tell them. They cannot tell us what to do because it is forbidden in this country for any governors, mayors, or state to tell us what to do. They are not allowed to enforce laws, and they are not allowed to write them as well. Why do Americans accept this? We are a nation born in a bloody revolution against a king. The founders of America made the profound and indisputable choice of establishing a government dictated by the cacophony of liberty over the illusion of safety. Yes, so the illusion of safety, it's an illusion. It's not real. It's all an illusion. Now, why do Americans accept this? Well, because you're allowing them to step all over you. You're allowing them to tell you what to do. They are not allowed to do that. We are a nation born into a bloody revolution against the king. All right, so we're going against the king, and we shouldn't be going against the king. All right, the founders of America made the profound and indisputable choices of establishing a government dictated by the cacophony of liberty over the illusion of safety. So what you are, when these governments are telling, oh, we're going to do this for your safety, blah, blah, blah. No, they're not. They're trying to harm you. And you allow them to harm you? Excuse me, wake up, you sheeps. You do not allow them to harm you. Stop allowing them to hurt you and tell you what to do. They embedded that choice in the Declaration of Independence and the U.S. Constitution. The former states unequivocally that no government is legitimate without the consent of the governed, and that the government's principal duty is to secure our rights. The latter, which expressly protects the right to make personal choices, is the supreme law of the land, and thus all government acts are subordinate to it. So they are not allowed to govern you. You govern yourself. Your self-government. They're nobody. The governors are nobody. You're allowed to govern yourself. So you have a right to tell them what to do. Govern yourselves. Don't let them tell you, well, you got to do this for me, you got to do that for me. Stop it. You don't allow them to tell you what to do. Go back to work, go to a park, go to church. Do what you got to do. Govern yourselves. Don't allow them to tell you, well, you can't go to the park because we'll arrest you, blah, blah, blah. Stop it. All right? Those governors are nobody. They're a nobody. We have fought wars against tyrants who wanted to tell us how to live. Today we have elected our masters who are just doing that. Yes, you did elect the masters that are telling you what to do. They're tyranny. They are not allowed to tell you what to do. This is why America, it is the way it is today. All jacked up because you allow these fake-ass masters tell you what to do. You picked all the wrong people when you were voting. You picked all the wrong people. Look where Nancy Pelosi is, Speaker of the House. She's tyranny. Obama's real name is Barry Santoris, thank you. He's tyranny. Smoking crack for 8 years and did nothing for this country? Yeah, wake the heck up, people. Americans seem to accept the restrictions on our rights of speech, religion, travel, and commercial activities simply because the origin of those restrictions is a popularly elected person. But even an elected government can be tyrannical. Should you bow to these restrictions merely because their authors were elected and they have persuaded your neighbors that the prohibitions are for their own good, the Declaration and the Constitution be damned? Yeah, should you be allowing all of this? No, you should not be allowed to let them get away with all these tyrannical mess that we're in now, because they're out here creating laws that they're not allowed to do. They are not allowed to be creating laws against you. You're allowed to create laws on them. Let them know what you need done. Let them know what you want. You don't allow them to tell you what to do, what you can and cannot do, because it could be tyrannical. And that's what they are doing, because you're allowing your masters to tell you what to do. And you should be ashamed of yourself for allowing this. And what about your Constitution, huh? Yeah. Think about that. Think about your Constitution of Rights. Think about your amendments, especially the 14th Amendment that I did a video on. Stated differently, the governments that have interfered with our well-established rights to go about our daily lives as we see fit, taking chances whenever we cross the street, drink a glass of water, bite into food, sit next to a stranger on a train or at a baseball game, or go through a green light in our vehicles, have failed their first obligation, which is so safeguard our freedoms to take those chances. Yeah, you could take all the chances in the world that you want. You're allowed to. You're allowed to bite into food. You're allowed to sit next to a stranger on a train or at a baseball game. This is what I mean. This is take chances whenever we cross the street, drink a glass of water, bite into food, sit next to a stranger on a train or at a baseball game, or go through a green light in our vehicles. Have failed their first obligation, which is to safeguard our freedoms to take those chances. And what those tyrannic governments are doing to you is totally illegal. Remember when Abraham Lincoln had signed the thing that the slaves to be free? Yeah, think about that. And look what they're doing now. They're enslaving you because you're allowing them. You're allowing them to enslave you. You're not a slave anymore. You're a free person. You're a free individual who can tell them what to do. Instead of safeguarding our freedoms, our natural rights to make personal choices, the governors and their police enforcers have treated us as if we work for them. No, you don't work for them. They work for you. So stop allowing it. Stop allowing these tyranny tell you what to do. All right? And if you got a problem with it, you better take it up with them, because you know what? They are not allowed to tell you what to do. You don't work for them. They work for you. Does the government work for us, or do we work for the government? Formally, it works for us. We elect officials because we trust their judgment. We authorize those officials to protect our rights, and we prohibit them from interfering with our personal choices. Yes, so you have a right to prohibit them from making choices for you. You can't allow them to say, "Oh well, I got to give you this and that." No, tell them to get out of your face. That's what you need to do. All right, and the question is, does the government work for us, or do we work for the government? They work for us. You don't work for them. You are their masters. You can't tell them. They can't tell you, "Oh well, we're going to give you a vaccine." Blah blah blah. No. Tell them no. Tell them, let them take the first stab at the vaccine shots. They are tyranny. They have been tyranny for decades. And you allowed them to tell you what to do? You're a sad bunch of sheeps that you're allowing these people to hurt you. You're a human being. They're not. They're nobody. For a few weeks now, I thought the most extreme of these governors has been Governor Phil Murphy of New Jersey, who publicly admitted that he didn't think of or care about the Bill of Rights, even though he took an oath to uphold it. Yet Governor Tom Wolf of Pennsylvania has surpassed him. Yes, so there was a Governor Murphy of New Jersey, who publicly admitted that he didn't think or care about the Bill of Rights. Well, you know why? Because he's tyranny, and so is Governor Tom Wolf of Pennsylvania has surpassed him. So these governors, they don't care about you. They don't care about your Bill of Rights. They don't care about your amendments. And this is why you're allowing them to walk all over you like a doormat. Stop being a doormat to these people. When Mr. Wolf learned that some Pennsylvania county sheriffs would not use force to enforce his non-law edicts, edicts and some public accommodations would open their doors consistent with public safety, but in difference of his non-law edicts. He threatened to withhold state aid from all who live in those counties and to close the liquor stores that by his non-laws edicts remain open. This is straight out of the 1930s. Germany punished the community because of the resistance of a few in Mr. Wolf's Pennsylvania. The people work for the government. Alright, so the people do work for the government, but what we're going through again is Nazi Germany all over again. Now, I wasn't there for that part, but I wasn't born yet during that part, but this is what you are going through right now, all over again. You need to stop allowing them to tell you what to do and take back your rights. You can take this country back. There is no one in this world that can stop you from doing it either. Not the police, not the government, not the mayors, and not the state. They are forbidden to tell you what to do. They are not allowed to create laws against you. This is why you're allowing them to walk all over you like a doormat. They're wiping their feet on you and everything. Stop it. My colleagues at the Wall Street Journal have unearthed the facts that more Americans die annually from heart disease, cancer, accidents, and non-C19 respiratory failure than die annually from this C19 virus. Every death diminishes me. So does every suppression of liberty. So does every denial of the right to make choices and take risks. Yes, so if you say like if you have a heart attack, C19, cancer, C19, you're sick, C19. Everything has got to be C19. No, it doesn't. They don't want the doctors don't want to tell you the truth because they're forced to put C19 death. That's what they are forced to do. Because these governments and these mayors, they're telling you to do that. Stop lying stop lying to yourself and start standing up for these people, against these people. Don't allow them to hurt you because they're abusing you severely. And here you are taking all their abuse. How much longer are you going to put up with their abuse? You are their masters. You have a right to tell them, hey, look, I don't like what you're doing. Get out of my face and go sit somewhere. That's what you need to tell them to do. How can you allow this to happen to you? Wake up, you sheeps. Does the government really work for us, or are we afraid of it? Well, you should not be afraid of it, that's for sure. I can go out and not wear a mask at all because you know what? I have my rights still. And they cannot tell me what to do. Nope, they can't. The police don't bother me at all. Even if they see me around on the street, they don't bother me. They just go on their merry way. So that's how much they don't bother me. I don't bother them either. I don't interfere in their jobs that they're doing, and they are not interfering with my daily routine, whatever I have to do. They know. But yet you allow these cops to abuse you. You allow the governments to abuse you. Seriously? What kind of crap is all that you are allowing them to do? You picked the wrong people to be in offices. You allow them to hurt you. You have feelings. They don't. They're tyrannical. They're tyranny. They have no feelings for you whatsoever. They don't feel sorry for you. They're just saying that because they want to suck up to you. Well, guess what? It's not going to work. Okay? Stop it. I mean, seriously, wake up, sheeps. Stop allowing these people to abuse you. Because that's what they're doing. They're making you feel like they're treating you like a slave all over again. Stop it. It is against the law, and it's prohibited to do that to people. We are patriots, and we are not to be abused ever. And we're also sovereign too. This country was free from slavery hundreds of years ago, and yet you allowing them to do this to you? Are you serious? How much longer are you going to put up with all their shenanigans? Stop allowing them to hurt you and abuse you in a way that they are doing now. Look at the videos what the police are doing to people. They're hurting them. They're hurting children as well. The governments, they're also abusing you. And they're also abusing your children too. And you allow this. Same way with the state, abusing you, abusing your children. How much longer are you going to put up with it and allow them to hurt you in every way that they can? How much longer are you going to suffer the way that you are suffering now? You are your own boss. You create the laws for these governments. You tell them what to do. They can't tell you what to do. Leave your comments below. I am out.